Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 31 Media KE. This is Kimani Waraitha and this is the Hot Discussion. Today I'm privileged to have two guests in the studio. I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves to our audience, as well as tell us who they are and their areas of profession. They are going to tell us what they do for a living. Before I introduce the topic of the day. On my farthest side, we have a friend of mine. I don't want to preempt his name because he's a good friend of mine. He's going to introduce himself to us and tell us who he is and what he does for a living. Welcome, Senator.
Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Simon Gadu, a resident of Kinamba. I'm an economist and a political scientist. I have unsuccessfully vied for the Senate seat, Laikipia County. I have interacted with people. I love interacting with people. Politics is your life. That is why today we have that discussion. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Senator. Welcome to 31 Media Studios. We are glad to have you. I'm sure you are going to provide to us useful information on the topic of the day. On this other side, I have another friend of mine whom we have interacted for quite a long time. He's a good friend of mine. Welcome and introduce yourself, sir.
Oh, thank you, Kimani Raitha, and above everything else, the fraternity of 31 Media Communications. I take this chance to express my gratitude for this invitation. I'm Washira Gishashi, a teacher of English and Literature at Olmoran Senior School. Above everything else, I'm also interested in matters politics, Laikipia politics, Kenyan politics, and also international politics. Allow me to say, I feel and I think we need to have these hot topics severally because we need to shape, and we are the opinion shapers of our community, and we need to, again, share our mind and where our country is going. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Washira. Washira Gishashi is a big name. Also, Gaduo is a big name. Actually, it's a household name in Laikipia County. Today, we are going to have a very hot discussion, and we are discussing about the state of the politics in this country. Above all, we are going to discuss issues about the current trends in the politics of the day. And before I tell you the main topic of the day, I want you to take a minute or two to hit the follow button as well as the like button, because when you do that, you tell the YouTube algorithm that the discussion is popular, and therefore we are able to reach as many people as possible. And I think that is the biggest support that you can give 31 Media, so that we can reach as many people as possible and also get as many followers as possible. Currently, we are beginning to get followers, and I thank everybody who has been following us. We are promising that we are going to be consistent in the discussions that we are going to be having each and every day. Now, gentlemen, today I want us to talk about integrity in the political spectrum that is called Kenya. Yesterday, I saw Kalonzo Musyoka at the mausoleum. I don't know what we call that monument. I mean, the monument that was erected by the current government after Ruto launched the road. I don't know whether it was in Mwingi or where it was. And he was saying, the only thing that we are going to see for a very long time to come is that monument. There's a popular blogger, Kamwakili, called Wahome Dhuku, and he has been doing a countdown on the launching of the Mau, what do we call it, Limuru Mau Summit highway.
Yes.
And he has been doing that to tell the nation that our politicians are very good at making promises, but it is very difficult for them to make a follow-up and to fulfill those promises. That is the kind of discussion that I want us to have today, because we are having a nation where politicians make promises, but they do not follow up on the promises they make. The biggest interest in their hearts is to get political office and ride on the popularity of the day to get elected back without us, the general citizens, getting anything out of their popularity. I will begin with the Senator. Tell us, what do you think about the integrity that our politicians have? Do they speak truthfully? Do they tell us the truth? Do they mean what they say, or do they say what they mean?
Yes. I will start by quoting the Bible. A good name is better than fine wine. And unfortunately, in the dynamics of Kenyan politics, you are popular depending on the amount of lies that you talk.
I hear that.
If you want to get some popularity,
Yeah.
the first thing you have to do is to raise the dopamine of people. How do you do that? Politics, like I began saying, is a way of life. It determines what you eat, the education level you get, everything about mankind determined since time immemorial through politics. Unfortunately, in the Kenyan context, you and I will buy the person who give us the best lies, in quotes. Once you raise that dopamine, I fall in love with you. I start with Laikipia, where we are.
Yeah.
There's a road here just opposite, Kinamba Mwenje.
Yeah.
It has been promised, not once or twice, it will be termined.
Yeah,
When that promise was made, the people of Kinamba cheered and clapped. It is almost a year. Nothing has ever happened.
Is it an year or it is more than an year?
It is more than 1 year.
In fact, if I remember very well, somebody's campaign rode on the promise of that road.
Yes.
Yes.
So it might even be more than 3 years,
Yes.
as you're talking. What the Kenyan politics, unfortunately, has come to is about lies. There's nothing about integrity.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, again, the fish rots from the head.
Exactly.
The Bible is very clear. The head of the family determines the direction that family will go.
Yeah.
I do not know where we went wrong since independence. We have consistently gone down and down in our level of association as a nation. The 2010 Constitution, the drafters were very clear on the kind of leadership we had to have in this country. They gave us a whole chapter on integrity.
Yeah. Chapter 6.
It was supposed to anchor the direction the politics of Kenya was supposed to take from that time.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, as we'll discuss more, nothing of that has happened. I'm sure we'll go deeper into that.
Thank you, Senator. And I have seen you fight for justice, especially in Laikipia County. And I know matters of justice are in your heart. I know you have suffered in the course of fighting for justice in this country. And I would like to encourage you not to stop. There are times that I have seen you post things like you're about to give up. But people who do not give up are the ones that make the biggest impact. Thank you very much, sir, for your opinions. We will continue with this discussion. But I want to give this opportunity to Ashira, Mwalimu. We have been told that we want to transform Kenya into a Singapore of sorts. What is your opinion on this issue of integrity in our leadership?
Okay. Thank you, Kimani, Raisa,
Yeah.
and that one media. Allow me to first maybe give my audience and viewers. First, the definition of integrity.
Yeah.
Allow me to start from the definition. Integrity is the ability of doing the right thing even when nobody is watching over you.
Exactly.
And I believe as leaders, and just as my colleague has said, that again, the drafters of 2010 constitution, and allow me to say that Kenya, we have the best constitution.
In Africa.
Only that it is not, it is in the theory part, that is theoretical, not practical. How I wish that our country can adopt and make that constitution be practical. On the issue of the integrity bit, at times I feel leaders should do the right thing even when nobody is watching over them. But what happens? Leaders want to be praised by doing their job, and that is not the way to go. Kenya, we are in a very, very bad situation because, allow me to say this. When I look at the Kenyan system, the taxation system, actually we are the highest taxed country amongst the East Africa countries.
Yeah.
So that means we have a lot of money in our treasury,
Exactly.
which our leaders, our day-to-day leaders, divert those money into their own personal benefit rather than the community benefit.
Yeah.
The only time that maybe we had a very good leader who had integrity was Moi Kibaki. We can attest what Moi Kibaki did. We can see he did the Thika Superhighway. We can see he did, he did so many roads in Kenya.
Yeah.
Again, we had President Uhuru Kenyatta. Again, I can say I saw changes in Uhuru's government.
Yeah.
We can have something that we can say, oh, Uhuru did this, Uhuru did the expressway, Uhuru brought loads in here in Laikipia. We have the Karandi Baringo Road, we have Sipiri, Kenamba, Mohotetu, Rumuruti Road.
And you see,
yes,
as you speak about the roads in Laikipia.
Yes.
I saw somebody the other day planning to get popularity out of the roads. Roads that were built more than 5 years ago.
Sure.
Roads that have started requiring repair. Somebody was launching those roads a few days ago in a campaign there in Baringo. I don't want to mention the name.
Okay.
And I don't want to fight with anyone.
Okay.
But I think we need to fight for truth.
Yeah, sure.
You see, I have been conned. I know the issue of being conned. Kila mtu ashaipata chance. Ashaipatana na conman. You see, a conman does not give you time to think. That moment when he wants to get something out of you, he does not give you time to think. Is that what the politicians are doing with the citizens of this country? They control your thinking. They use the campaign time to control your thinking, and then before you realize, you have been conned. For example, the Mount Kenya region was very angry after we elected Ruto because we started realizing that the promises that he had made for this region are not getting fulfilled. In fact, if there is somebody who has failed in fulfilling his promises, it's the current regime. The current regime is very poor in fulfilling the promises they made. And the people of Mount Kenya started rebelling against the government to the point where we saw the impeachment and the things that are happening right now. Is it that as Kenyans, we get carried away by the euphoria of the campaigns and we stop thinking and we elect anybody, just anybody that comes, as long as he's riding on the popular tide that is happening in the country at the moment? What do you think, Mr. Senator?
I will start with the institutions that we have in this country.
Yeah.
The Constitution of Kenya.
I still feel uncomfortable with your mic, Senator.
Yes. The Constitution of Kenya created 3 layers of government.
Yeah.
The first one is the executive, where the presidency is.
Yeah.
The second one is the legislature. Third one is the judiciary. Unfortunately, as you stated, the biggest failure that we have at this time is the executive and legislature. There's somebody during the campaign season I saw on his bike. He had clearly written that voters are the criminals. Because one, the moment you invited Gadhu, Ishuru and Shire Ishashi here, you had some interest in quotes.
Yeah.
There is a reason why you called me and him and not that other person.
Yes.
Interest in quotes.
Yes.
You as a voter, when you're voting your member of parliament, when you're voting your MCA, when you're voting your senator, when you're voting your governor, when you're voting your president, exactly what interest do you have in that person? The biggest failure that we have at this time is not even the executive. Because once again, as the drafters of the Constitution of Kenya, the 2010 Constitution, knew that maybe at some point the executive may get carried away in quotes with power. And absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
They put in the checks and balances. In fact, the veto power in most of these laws and institutions that we have in Kenya are vested in parliament.
And are the checks and balances working?
Definitely not. And I'll give you an example. Just the other day, the privatization bill was passed. In fact, this week, it was signed into law.
Yeah.
The day before yesterday, we saw in parliament there was a lot of abuses, and in fact somebody has been suspended. A member of parliament has been suspended because they tried to snatch the mace from the speaker.
Yeah, I saw that.
He felt, rightfully so, that you cannot delegate powers vested to you by the Constitution of Kenya as parliament to the executive.
Yeah.
What exactly is your interest in quotes to warrant you to delegate powers given to you not only by the Constitution of Kenya but by the people of this nation, that person who voted to you for you? Why exactly do you want to give somebody the powers that you're given? I do not get. But again, I'll go back to what I told you before. Voters are the criminals. What caliber of leaders did you put into parliament and the Senate, for that matter?
Thank you, Senator. In other words, what you are saying is that us, the voters, we need to have a very serious internal conversation within ourselves as to the kind of leadership that we want to have in this country. Because we are the people who elected the people who are in government today.
Yes.
We are the people who vested our powers to them. And then we are the people who are complaining loudest when things go wrong.
Yes.
But I also have a feeling that the problem is a systemic failure. That we need a complete overhaul of the way we do things. For example, what is coming into my mind is that if we elect a good person and put him in State House, for example, the person may become bad because the system allows him to become a bad person. There's something I have been very, very much uncomfortable with: the coalition building after elections. Somebody was running for president, and after things go wrong, you find that they are able to sneak into the government, and they do not provide the opposition that is required from them. They sneak into the government. For example, right now we are having the broad-based government. The broad-based government is basically Azimio and UDA.
Sure.
And this excludes the Mount Kenya area. And even though we may say we are excluded, I saw one clergy from the Nyanza region saying that the people from Nyanza are being taken for a ride. They only have two CSs, whereas Mount Kenya region has almost 8 CSs. We call them CSs.
Yes.
Yeah, CSs.
The
The cabinet secretaries.
Yes.
And the people from Nyanza are now saying the government belongs to us. We are now in the government, and they only have how many CSs? They only have 2 CSs. I believe you saw that clergy.
Yes.
I don't know his name, and I have never actually seen him. I started seeing him the day he came out with that outburst, and I suddenly realized that he has been vocal. It is not the first time that he is complaining about the current setup in the government. So I am of the opinion that there is a small systemic failure somewhere, because what is the government doing in power if it is not performing? What is the government doing in power if it is not failing? It is failing to meet its mandate to the citizenry, and therefore, besides the electorate, be the electors, the citizens being the criminals for electing criminals. You see, I was watching an interview that was made yesterday in one of the media houses, and the guest was saying, you cannot elect a hyena to go and lead chicken and goats. What do you expect? You cannot be in the company of witches if you yourself, you are not a witch. I don't know whether you saw that conversation. We will continue with our conversation, but we are going to take a break. I want to take this opportunity once again to invite our audience to click the follow button and also to like our content so that they can support us. It costs nothing. And indeed, we will be happy if we get to 1,000 followers. We are just beginning, and I believe in a very short time we'll be able to get to 1,000 followers so that we can continue providing content like this and also informing the citizens about teaching the citizens about their rights and their obligations. We are going to get back to you. Welcome.